I didn't see you there. That was the cringiest intro I've ever done, but I like it. Today we're reviewing a very cool guitar. Really like this little guy. It's not little, same size as every other guitar. This is a Fender 1972 reissue Thinline Telecaster. So semi-hollow, as you can see. Whole thing is not hollow. It's not a full-on like acoustic electric type Thinline or anything, but very, very cool, even for a maple fingerboard, which I usually am not a big fan of. Another thing I don't really like, and you can kind of see it with the reflection as I move the guitar here, and the light kind of catches it as well. It's got that like kind of high gloss finish on the fingerboard as well. I know a lot of people really don't like that. I actually know a guy who collects Telecasters. It's the only kind of guitar he has other than a single Strat. And he refuses to get any Tele at all with a high gloss fingerboard like that. And a lot of people just don't like them. It's all personal preference. You can see kind of there. I think from the serial number, this is a 2016. Check it all out. Very good condition. And shout out to my buddy over at Coffee and Guitars, and check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description. I got this in a trade with him, so don't see these things too often. When they come up, they're super, super rare, but really like this. I don't think I ever showed it on a video, but I used to actually own, it was a J Tercer, believe it or not. And it was a Thinline Telecaster in this, like, I think they call it natural or like raw kind of wood finish where they don't paint it or anything. You just see all the wood grain. And it also had the same kind of pick guard, but it was clear. And so you could see all the electronics in it. And that was pretty neat. That guitar kind of played like crap because it was a J Tercer and it was just a cheap guitar made in China. These are made in Mexico. This is not the like $2,500 or $3,000 USA version, though they do make that. From, as far as I can tell, the specs really aren't a whole lot different from the Mexico to the USA one. Just looking up things about this guitar before I talk to you guys about it and show you it a little bit. People say really their only complaint is the two things you would expect. Some people complain that the tuning stability isn't there because you don't have locking tuners. Okay. It's also an easy fix. And some people say they replace the humbuckers. And that's sort of what everybody replaces on like every single guitar that they ever get, is if they replace anything, it's pickups and tuning machines. They're easy fixes, easy replacements. The pickups can get pricey. I also didn't find any information about these pickups. Nothing on the Fender site. They just call them wide range. Sure. I've been playing on this guitar. I picked it up yesterday on Thanksgiving, and I've been playing this guitar for a couple hours, and the pickups sound fine to me. You're not really using this guitar for a whole lot of like ultra heavy extreme stuff. This is not, you know, your Infinite Annihilator guitar. You're not getting up there playing Impending Doom riffs in like C standard or anything. So you're going to be playing fingerstyle type stuff, jazz, blues, lots of blues, kind of a blues guitar, bluegrass, all that kind of fun stuff. So the pickups, you know, you don't need something with ultra high end or ultra low end clarity rather. Well, let's take a look, or listen rather. You can already see it a little bit, but just clean through the Boss Katana per usual. And that's on bridge position. So if you couldn't see the switch, we're on the bridge. We got both knobs dimed out. It's a little twangy, which is just Telecaster in general, but sounds good to me. Just got a little bit of like a hiss at the top end, if that makes any sense. And it's probably not coming through on the camera or the mic at all. Middle position, again, just clean. Hopefully you recognize that riff. Sounds really great on the middle position. I like it a lot. Real bluesy, sounds nice. Neck position, do a little finger style. Sounds fantastic. Sounds really good. I like the pickups. I know so many people, they get pickups that are stock pickups, they replace them with something named brand and feel free. But I don't think you can go wrong with these, especially for any kind of music that you would traditionally think of for a Telecaster. I just don't think you're gonna hate it at all. Yeah, they sound pretty good. Do a little flat picking on here. And that's on middle position. I think it sounds really good. It's really full. It's not piercing because they're humbuckers usually on a Telecaster, like my Seafoam Green Squire with the two single coils. It can be a little raspy and kind of just shrill. These sound really nice and mellow. Again, I love that middle position. I think it sounds killer. Let's do stuff you wouldn't do on a Thinline Telecaster though. We'll go bridge position and we'll just give it, we'll give it a lot. Let's push it. Can you play metal? Actually sings pretty well on those pinch harmonics. See if I can hit that again. That sounds pretty good. Honestly, it sounds great on the metal. This is through my Skulls pedal, which is my own custom distortion, but it's a pretty straightforward distortion, and just into a noise gate. So the Donner noise gate that I've talked about a ton that costs like a nickel. So sounds pretty killer. My only complaint trying to play metal stuff, and maybe you can see it, is the saddles. Those like bent saddles like that with saddle screws coming up through the top are very uncomfortable to play palm muted, at least for me. My hand tends to rest on those saddles and it's just like putting your hand like into that needle pit from that one Saw movie. So obviously it's not that bad. It's just not great for palm muting. But again, that's not what you use this guitar for by any means. So just, you know, I'm kind of using it dumb. We'll put on the Alpha Haunt. This is a pretty straightforward fuzz sound. So we'll put the gate back on. No, that gate's killing it too much. We'll get a little buzz. with the Borealis. Sounds a little chaotic there. Let's go neck pickup. We'll do the tiny fuzz and the afterneath. I'm just making it up as I go. Sounds a little chaotic. Just on the tiny fuzz is just like perfect blues, but I love that fuzz. Perfect blues. That's on the neck position, just through the tiny fuzz with the actual fuzz part maxed out and the volume at like 75%. Really like that. Do a little like Delta blues. Actually, I think I played Delta blues with the pick. I can't remember. The answer is I usually don't play with a pick. That was a little weird for me. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Put it back in the middle, same riff. Yeah, we'll play with fingers. Gets a little muddy there, just kind of a lot of fuzz. Put on the octave fuzz, and that octave fuzz sounds way, way better when you get a drive right behind it, like an SD1, which I have my SD1 sitting right off to the side. It's just not plugged up yet, or I would turn that on with the octave fuzz as well. Do a little more just clean. This is the afterneath, so nothing else, no dirt. Screwed that up. Very, very cool guitar. From a playability standpoint, now that you've heard it a bunch, there's no complaints. The back of the neck, if you like this neck feel, because it's not that raw, it's like got that finish on it, that glossy finish on the back. Probably, oh yeah, you can see that reflection all over the neck. Some people don't like that. I'm kind of impartial. My favorite neck is on my Legator Ninja 6. It's got a walnut neck and the back is just perfect. But this feels great. No complaints. Fretwork, flawless, as you would expect from a more expensive Mexican instrument. Absolutely flawless on the frets. No complaints there. It's set up pretty well. I haven't tweaked it at all yet. It is that bullet. You can see the old school, obviously 1972 style bullet truss rod. I like that. I think it looks cool. The only thing I don't think looks cool is right next to it, the string tree. I've never been a fan of the string trees that mount directly onto the headstock like that and just screw all the way in. They just, to me, look like the spacer's missing, which it literally is, but, on purpose. I just don't like that. I don't know. Maybe that's a me issue. The other thing, and maybe some people will know this better than I do, I don't think those are vintage style tuners at all. I would think if this was the legit 1972 Thinline Telecaster, you'd get those tuning machines with like the stripes on them that are the big squares, and then maybe even the white or like pearloid or whatever, machine heads on there, or the parts that you turn the keys, or I guess they're called keys. I don't know. Who knows? But that to me is vintage, but maybe that's more of a Gibson thing. I'm not sure. But playability plays just fine. Body shape is exactly a Telecaster, what you'd expect. So if that's comfortable to you, then this would be a great one. It also has the very cool little neck mounting plate on the back. I like that design. It has a little Fender F. And it also has the hole down there for like the fine adjustments. I've never actually fiddled with one of those. I'd like to though. Just because it seems really neat. I've checked them out online, watched some videos of some other guys doing it, but I've never done it myself. So, yeah, it's a cool guitar. I really like it. So we'll go back to the bridge and give it one more run through on just some fingerstyle stuff. We'll put on just the Borealis for a little bit of that reverb delay. Really like that pedal. Sounds really good. It's a very quality guitar. I like it. Don't really have much of a need for it, so this one will be going up on the trading and selling block and whatnot in a little bit. So I'll keep it for a few weeks at least to enjoy it myself, and then see what else we can trade into and what other cool stuff is out there. So if you've got one of these, let me know in the comments, because I've never seen one before until I got this one. I never saw one in real life, though I meant to grab it sitting out on my printer because I was making copies. But one of the blues books that I have with like blues riffs in it has this exact guitar on the cover, so that's kind of neat. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm digging it. It's cool. It sounds good. It's super playable. It's very lightweight too, as you would imagine. Yeah. Honestly, my only complaint is if you're going to be playing metal stuff and chugging on those palm mutes, you're going to tear your hand up a little bit. But that's, again, not what this guitar is made for. So you can do it. It sounded fine when we did it, but not really what you're going for. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one.